Okay, so welcome to this lecture on problem solving in DBMS. Today we will be revising SQL as we discussed yesterday. That the plan is to solve more and more problems on SQL, structured query language. SQL is one of the topics that maybe again it's not very much required, but maybe you guys have also studied um, outside DBMS. Like one of the few concepts that you might know could be this one, which is SQL. So we will I won't go into much deep around theory. Okay, SQL, for people who already know, there is SQL is just one of the languages which is commonly used for querying structured relational databases, and SQL is widely used in industry. If you work as a software developer, if you plan to work as a software developer in the near future, you will have some relation with SQL. So the idea is, so what I did was when preparing these slides, I focused more on problems, but I found one of the cheat sheets. I didn't make this cheat sheet. I found it on the internet, and give credits to this website. The website beautifully gives all the important commands that are there, talks about what is SQL, gives the sample data, just a sample relational model, and it tries to explain each and every of the constructs. So is there any construct that you guys don't know, you want me to uh, help you on? If you think there is anything that you are not able to understand, please let me know before I start with the questions, right? Roughly, most of the theorems, most of the questions that are given that we will discuss today will revolve around concepts based on all these different types of constructs. But in case if you need to know anything prior, any construct that you're not very clear of, you can ask it before I start the questions. Okay, so uh, you have are both of you prepared with SQL? Yes, from Jigya. How about Vishnu? Have you? Okay, good. So let's start the questions. There are concepts also in the questions, and by solving questions, you will try to learn more and more. So this is the first question. Very simple question. Was asked in GATE 2023. Yeah. So it's a simple question. They are saying select star from student. So you select star means you select all the columns from the student relation or student table where gender is female. So you will um, select this row, and this row. Okay. And the marks should be more than 65, not more than equal to, more than 65. So you will select these first two rows, but not you will exclude the last row. So in total, you get two rows. I think they wanted to give some free marks, so they gave this question. It was asked in GATE 2023. Okay. Let's go to the next question, which is this. Take some time, try to solve, let me know the answer. Yes, any answers, any guesses? How to solve? 0. Okay. Okay. Okay, I will tell you a way to solve these type of questions. You may follow the same way. It had worked for me when I was a student. In this, if you see right, um, uh, in this question, uh, there are two queries. In fact, there are three queries. Right? There are three different queries. One is this, another is this, another is this. Okay. Always try to evaluate the independent queries first. What do I mean by independent queries? See, if you look at this third query, there is a dependence where SNO, the student number maybe, should be equal to some other table student number. And which table is this? This table is the first query. So this is called a correlated subquery. But if you look at this query is independent because this query does not require data from any other table. So what is the result of this query? Can you answer? C11, C12. Very good. So the answer is C11, C12. What does this mean? Except. Anyone knows what does except mean? Except means set difference. Okay, you are doing set difference with some other table. Now this table, you are using something called correlated subquery. Okay, now What you are trying to do here is you are trying to match each student number with the student number that is present in the register column. So, what are the possible values that you can get from S? What are the possible values you can get? One is S01, S02, S03, S04, S05. These are the 5 student numbers that you can get from the student table. You use the register table to join with the students table based on the student number. Now, when the student number is S01, what is the course numbers that will be returned by the register table? Can you answer that? Do you understand the question? The question is, you're trying to join the student number from the student table with the student number of the register table. Now, this is a correlated nested subquery, which means for each value of the student number, you will join it with the register student number in the register table and you retrieve the course numbers. Now, what is the course numbers you get for the first one? You get C11, C12. Okay. What will you get for S02? What will you get for S02? You will just get C11, right? What will you get for S03? Let me write all of this a bit more nicely. So what I said was, sorry, I will just name this as the first query, this one as the second query, this one as the third query. Now the second query is very simple. It returns you the course numbers, which is C11, C12. Now minus, when the student number is S01, you are doing C11, C12. When the student number is S02, you are only doing with C11, right? Everyone, C11, right? Okay. When the student number is S03, what is the row that will be returned then? C11, no, sorry. What will be returned? C21, C22, C23. Everyone can see that, right? Not just Rohit, everyone can see that, right? It's very simple, not very difficult. Okay. So C21, C22, C23. Now, when the student number is 04, what is the result you get? C11, C12. And I don't want to again put the slide back. So if the student number is S05, it is C11, C21. Very good, Vishnu. Thank you. So C11, C12, S05 is C11, C21. Thanks, Vishnu. Okay. Okay. So far, so good. No questions. This simple SQL till now, right? Now, can you guess what does this mean? Not exist. What does this mean? It means, so okay, before I go there, so for S01, what is the result of this operation? C11, C12, which is from the query number 2, right? And this is query number 3. So what is for the first case? What does this set difference give you as the answer for S01? Will it be the empty set, right? So it will be the empty set. Everyone understood for S01? Why is it 5? Because you're doing set difference. There are two elements, C11, C12. You're doing set difference with C11, C12. That's 5. For S02, what will be the answer? It will be only C12. You will exclude C11. What is the answer for S03? Both C11, C12. What will be the answer for S04? 5. What will be the answer for S05? C12. Now, can I say that the result of this query 2 minus 3 that we did 2 except 3 for S02, for S03 and for S05 there is some course number that exists. Can I say this? That there is some course that exists for them. In this case, for S02 it's C12, for S03 it's C11, C12, for S05 it is C12. Can I say that? Can I say there is some course exist? Can I say that for S01 and for S04 no course exists? Or there is no value that exists, the set is empty? Can I say this? If I'm just speaking English, whatever I wrote now, right? So for S01, for S04, I can say that the result of course says is empty. So what does this not exist mean? This not exist means you need to return me those tuples where this inner query gives you a null answer. Now for S01 and S04, this inner query gives me a null answer. You will return S01 and you will return S04. So how many rows are returned? 2 rows are returned. Okay. Any questions? Everyone understood? Yes? No? Anything not clear? Want me to explain again? All good? Okay. Yeah. So this question I have, again, these questions are intended for you to understand the different concepts that are there. Primarily, the concept that you should know now is except typically just means set difference, and how does not exist work. Okay. How does not exist work? Okay. Yes, please try this out. It's a very simple question. And again, apply my rule. If there are any inner queries that you see and they are independent meaning you don't need the value from the outer query, try to evaluate that first, and then you will see that the query becomes very simple for you to see. Okay, I have an answer B. Okay. Okay. Can anyone tell me what does the inner query do? This is an inner query. It's independent of the outer query. You don't need any data from the outer query. What does this inner query return? This inner query returns the average salary of all employees. Okay, fine. No questions here. Average salary of all employees. Okay, simple, right? This one is like very simple. Okay. Now read the query. It says you select the department ID and count star, count the number of tuples returned from the table EMP, that is employee, where the gender is female. So you're looking at female employees and their salary is greater than the average salary of all employees. And you group them by department ID. So the above query gives for each department, which is your grouping by department ID, the number of female employees, which is given by the count star. And why is it saying number of female employees? Because you have set the where clause as gender should be female, whose salary is greater than the average salary of all employees. Average salary of all employees. One mistake that people might make, is they might answer option D. But option D is incorrect because the inner query is independent of the outer query. The inner query just selects the average salary from the employee table. It does not consider female employee, nothing. Female employees and all are considered in the outer table. Outer table. Okay, fine. Can I proceed? Okay. Hmm. Okay. Uh, I have one answer A. It also says A. Okay. Okay. So one another way. So again, I will suggest you guys to solve this question by first evaluating the inner query, and then actually going with the outer query. Okay. So what does the inner query evaluate to? So if you look at this inner query, You're saying select the average cost from catalog where part number is P4, right? So you are only considering part number P4. So this and this only. You are grouping by part number, which is P4, and this returns, if you calculate, to 25, right? This returns to 25 because average cost 200, 250, two rows is 225. So in essence, this entire query is now select s.snow, s.sname from suppliers s catalog C, where s dot you are joining in basis of the column s, s number, and the cost is greater than 225. This is basically the query that has now come to. Now, suppliers and catalog are the two tables that you are joining based on S, S number. If you see, S1 will be joined with this as well as this as well as this, right? But none of them have cost greater than 225. So this will not be returned. Okay. This row, this row, this row will not be returned. S2 is joined with this, S2 is joined with this. Only this row will be returned. S3 is joined with this, S3 is joined with this, S3 is joined with this, S3 is also joined with this. And only this row will not be returned, other three rows will be returned. That's why the answer is 4 rows will be returned. Okay, everyone understood? Okay. Okay. Mhm. Yes, please try this out. Yes, how do you solve this question? My suggestion, please try to question mark. No, yeah. Be confident, Vishnu. If you think answer is 5, answer is 5. Correct answer is actually 5, Vishnu. So, yeah. Okay. So, if you see, right, I have not given any join condition. Um, right? I have not even specified join. There is no join condition, right? So what happens here actually? Which does it have a What does it do? Does it do an inner join, natural join, cross join, outer join, left outer join, right outer join? Which join does it do? I have not specified any join here. Vishnu says cross join. Anyone else or everyone agree with Vishnu? Okay. So if a query is given like this, um, it means you are doing a cross join. Okay. P dot marks is greater than 84, which also means that um, you will exclude. Sorry, you will exclude. One second, I don't know what's happening. Okay, turns out I can't write here. Okay, so you will if you will exclude one of the rows, which is this row, you will exclude, right? Because the P dot marks is not greater than 84. It's 80. So now cross join, what does it mean? It means you will join this one with this row, this row, this row, this row, and this row, right? You will join them with this rows. So you get 5 different rows, but you then group by the student name and you take the sum of marks. So typically what would happen here is roll number will be 1, student name will be Amit, student name will be Amit, the roll number will be 1 from the performance table. Um, Sorry, I don't think I'm only getting the name. Sorry, I'm only getting the name and marks, which means I get the name Amit and I'm grouping by this roll number. If you see, sorry, I'm grouping by the student name, which is I'm grouping by Amit. So what will happen here is I will get the sum of all of these marks, which is 86, 95, 90, 89, 92. 86, 95, 90, 89, 92. This is how a cross join works. You just take a cross product. Now you go to the next student, which is Priya. You join her with this. 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 And you group by Priya and you take the sum of all of them. So again, there will be another row, Priya, with sum as 86, 95, 90, 89, 92. Okay. Similar will be the case with Vineet, Rohan, and Smita. So each 5 of these people will have their own rows. The value will be the sum of the marks. If I had given an inner join meaning I could have told you that I will only join by matching their roll numbers. Okay. In that case, Amit would have joined only with this, this, and this. Priya would have joined with this and this. And 3, 4, 5, these 3 roll numbers will not be present in the join output because they don't have any roll number in the performance table. Okay, if I were to do an inner join based on the roll number, I am not doing that. When I don't specify any join here, I do something called cross product, which means I group every tuple with every other tuple. So I group the first row with the 5 rows on the right, second row with the 5 rows on the right, third row with the 5 rows on the right. And then I group by the student name. So each student name is distinct. I group by each of the student names. And since there are 5 student names, there will be 5 different groups and you get 5 different tuples or rows as part of the fan relation. So your answer will be 5. Is it clear, everyone? Can I proceed? See, there is one more question asked in GATE based on exactly the same concept, exactly the same question. They changed it a little bit. Okay, they changed. We'll do that today. Don't worry. So there was one more question asked based on the same concept. So if you don't understand this one, please let me know. Okay, because you will not be able to understand that question as well. Okay, is it clear, everyone? Or any questions? Sir, what if there was no group by? Sir, enough journey was there, answer would be different. No, sir. Okay. Okay. Very good question. Both questions are very good. Let me take them one by one. Starting with the first question, which is what if there was no group by? Okay. Very good question, Jigya. So in that case, I would have done this. So you're trying to say that let's change the query like this, okay? I'll say the query is you don't have the group by, and so maybe I just return the marks. I can't aggregate, right? If there is no group by. Okay, Jigya, is that fine? If you don't say I don't have group by, then I also have to remove marks, sum of marks. That should be okay, right? Okay. In that case, what would have happened was there would be a row, Amit, and 86. There would be a row, Amit, 95. There would be a row, Amit, 90. There would be a row, Amit, 89. There would be a row, Amit, 92. Okay. Amit would be present with each of these marks on the right hand side. Okay. Then Priya would also have to be all of them, all the five tuples. So after this, it would have been Priya, 86, Priya, 95, Priya, 89, and so on. Similarly, you will have Vineet 86, Vineet 95, Vineet 90, Vineet 89, Vineet 92. It's like a cross product. You're doing a cross product. Is it clear now, Jigya? Now, what you do is you are doing a group by with a sum of marks, and you are grouping by the student name. So, what will you happen? What will happen? You are grouping by the name. You are taking the sum of marks. What will be the first row? It will have Amit, and you will take the sum of all these marks. You will have Priya, and you will have sum of all of these marks. You will have Vineet, you will have sum of all these marks, and so on. Is it clear why did I get 5 rows now? If there was, because the original question had group by, right? So, okay. And to answer the second question, if inner join was there, very good question. So let's actually do it. Assume there was, assume that you were actually doing inner join, and I will just say here on, or maybe so the query would have been from student S, inner join performance P on roll number, right? You would join on roll number, right, Rohit? If you were to join, you would join on roll number, right? Okay. So I have excluded this row, which is row with roll number 3 in the performance table, because the marks is not greater than 84. It's 80. That's why I've removed it. So again, so just to give you a glimpse, I've just removed it. Okay. In this case, your Amit, which has a roll number of 1, will be paired with which rows? Only this, and this. Is this okay, Rohit? Because you're joining on roll number. They should match, the roll number should match. Similarly, Priya would have been joined with this and this. Is this okay, Rohit? And 3, 4, 5 will not have been joined because they do not have any value in the performance table. Fine, you're doing inner join. That's what you said, right? You're doing inner join. You're not doing outer join. If you were to do outer join, then certainly those will be also there, but you're doing inner join. Okay. So, Jigya, can I erase this? Okay. So, typically, what are the rows that will be returned is, 1 second. So, what are the rows that will be returned? Amit 86, Amit 95, Amit 90. So, Amit 86, Amit 95, Amit 90, and Priya 89, Priya 92. Priya 89, Priya 92. Now you are grouping this table by the name. You are grouping this table by the name. You are taking the sum of marks. So what will be returned? First will be Amit. You sum as 86 plus 95 plus 90, and then will be Priya 89 plus 92. So how many rows are returned in this case, Rohit? 2. Okay. So if you were to answer on inner join, your answer would have been 2. And let me tell you one thing, GATE 2019 was one GATE which I had given. I very remember this question because I had an argument with one of my friends. I had answered 2, he had answered 5. And he was right, but I was fighting with him saying, boss, the answer should be 2. And I was giving the answer because I did inner join. He was giving the answer because he did cross join. And later on, I got to know that I was wrong because by default, if you specify things like this, you do cross join. You don't do inner join. Okay, is it clear? Everyone, can I proceed to the next question? Okay. Consider the following database table named top scorer. These are the um, this is just a quick refresher on what does all and any clause mean in SQL. Okay, my first question is, what are the number of rows returned in this query? So there is actually no goal scorer from Spain, is what they say. Okay. Now, all of phi, all construct in SQL, if you associate it with an empty set, which is phi, um, it is always true. It is considered always true. So, in a sense, you typically do not even have this condition in the first place. You can think of it that way. So the only condition that you have is that the goals that have been scored should be greater than any person from Germany. So what does this inner query return to you? What does this query return to you? Select tc.goals from top scorer where tc.country is Germany. So what does this return? 16, 14, 11, 10, 10. Okay? 16, 14, 11, 10, 10. Okay? Now, for example, take this player Klose. He's one of my favorite players. I follow football a lot. His name is Miroslav Klose. So Klose scored 16 goals for Germany, and okay, Vishnu. So he scored more goals than any single one goal scorer in this group. That's what any means. Any means that this guy, Miroslav Klose, Klose from Germany, scored 16 goals, which is more than, at least there exists someone in this group who has scored lesser goals than Klose. If you see 14, 11, 10, and 10, they all belong to the any clause, which means anyone, if Miroslav Klose or if Klose scored more goals than any one person in this group, then Klose is one of the output in your query. That's what any means. Any means there exists someone, right? So 16 is greater than, there exists someone who is true for this. So in this case, you can say 14 or 11 or 10 or 10. So 16 is greater than 14 or 11 or 10 or 10. Similarly, look at here Ronaldo, right? Ronaldo will also be true because there is someone who is existing in this group such that 15 is greater than that. In this case, 15 is greater than 14. Or you can also take 11 or 10 or 10. That does not matter. It does not matter. You can take anything you want. So, Ronaldo will also be one of the players being returned. Similarly, Gerd Müller from Germany has scored 14 goals and he has scored more than someone in the group, which is 11 in this case. So G Muller will also be in the output. So everyone, are you able to understand what is happening here? Yes. Now Fontaine is also in the output because he has scored 13 goals, which is greater than someone in the group. Okay. So Fontaine will also be one of the answer. Fontaine will also be one of the answer. Pele will also be one of the answer because Pele has scored more goals than someone in the group. Klinsmann from Germany will also be in the group because Klinsmann has scored more goals than at least someone in the group. In this case, you can say 11 is greater than 10. This person, Coxis from Hungary, will also be in the output because he has scored more goals than at least someone in the group. The others, all of them, for them, the condition will be false because they are not greater, they are greater than equal to. So there does not exist anyone who has where they have scored more goals than them. So how many rows are returned? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Answer is 7. Is it clear, everyone? Can I proceed? Yes? Okay. Okay. Question from GATE 2015. Yeah. Question from GATE 2015. Consider the following relation. Given the relation, there is a query. What is the where clause that you will give such that you get the addresses of all the theaters that have maximum capacity? See, you have done a very small mistake, Jigya Rohit. Acha, tell me one thing. What does this return? The theater with the maximum capacity. You agree to this? So if there is a theater with the maximum capacity that exists, can there be any other theater which has more than that capacity? You understand what I'm trying to say? The inner query says you select the capacity, you select that theater which has the maximum capacity. Right? Select max of capacity from the cinema, P2. Let's say that you found out that 1000 would be the answer for this, the maximum capacity. If let's say there is a P1 dot capacity of 1100, shouldn't this 1100 would have been here in the first place, Jigya and Rohit? Because that's the max. So this table here would return what? Null. Because there is no theater. You're saying the maximum capacity is 1000. There will certainly be no theater which has more than that. You have made a very small mistake. Look at option A and then answer. What is the correct answer? What does option A say? What does option A say then? Option A, if you look carefully, so okay. Now look at option D. Option D, if you see, option D, again you will return null because there will definitely not exist any theater having more capacity than the maximum capacity, right? If you look at the second option, let's say there is a theater with ID T1 capacity of 1000, um, and let's say some address A1. Okay. Now, when you try to write this condition, P1 dot capacity is 1000 and P2 dot capacity is also 1000. Let's say if this is the table, then P2 dot capacity is also 1000. Is this condition true or false? So it will be true for every row. So this will return all the rows. Only the first option will consider the theater with capacity such that it is greater than or equal to all the theaters that are there with some capacity. Greater than or equal to. Small silly mistake that you might have done here. That's why option A will be your right answer. Okay, let's proceed. Please try to answer this on your own. As I told you, this question, the few minutes back, we done one question. This question is somewhat similar. Okay, I have two answers, 2 and 3. Which one is correct? Why did you answer? Okay, I have 2 as well now. One more 2. Okay, people who answered 3, why do you think the answer is 3? Yes, don't guesswork or what? 3 students, sure. So when you group by, which are the tuples that are returned? Student names. Which are the groups? Jigya. One is Raj, another is Rohit. I can't see any other. Yes. Is there any other student, Jigya, that you see? One is Raj, one is Rohit. Right? You are querying by, you are grouping by the name of the student. So there are only two students, right? Can you see that? Raj and Rohit. There is another student which has roll number 3, but the name is same. So when you group by, you will consider these two Raj as the same because you are grouping by the name. Understood the mistake? And let me tell you, when I was solving this question, right, just before the class, I had also answered 3. And I saw the solution and saw, hey, boss, you did a small mistake, which is you answered, it should be Raj is just one. Okay. Jigya, did you understand? And also Rohit, because you also answered 3. Did you both understand the solution? Yes? Okay. Answer is 2. Okay. Clear this out. Okay. So one answer is it is 3. 3, 3, 3, 3 answers 3. Okay. 3. Okay. 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 So what does the inner query return? 5. And for 5, if you put all, that means it is always true. So the rows that are present in A, you will get it as it is. You will get these 3 rows. Your answer is 3. They are most probably trying to test if you know that for the all clause, if they if the sorry if the if it is 5, what does it happen? So okay, try this out. Okay, so I have some answers. Um, Everyone is saying C. Let's see. So select PID from reservation where class is AC. So you will not consider two rows, which is this one as well as this one because they are not class as AC and exists, right? Select star from passenger. We will again select star from passenger where the age is greater than 65, which means you are excluding this row, right? And the passenger dot PID is equal to reservation dot PID. So if you see passenger dot PID for one, it exists here, right? So this tuple exists, and because of which one of the IDs that will be returned is one. If you look at this second, which is PID2, there is no tuple on the right hand side in the reservation table with PID as 2. So that will not be returned. So I can strike it off. Similarly, the third row with PID as 3 is present on the right hand side, PID being 3, and because of which this will also be returned. So 1, 3 are the PIDs that will be returned. Okay. Everyone answered this question, so that's very good to see. Um, that means you understood. So we will go to the next question. Okay. Please try this out. Okay. So let's take some cases. Okay. So let's say case one is Nagpur has no supplier. Okay. Let's say Nagpur has no supplier. What would be the inner query result in this case? What would have been the inner query's result if that would have been the case. The inner query selects the inventory warehouse as Nagpur. So what would have been the inner query result? Fine. Very good. So this thing would have had been false. It would have had been false. So you would not return any row if that was the case. Let's say there is a case 2 where Nagpur has only one supplier. So what would have been the inner query result in this case? That Nagpur has only one supplier. What would have had been the inner query's result? How many rows would have been returned in the inner query? Just one. Very good, guys. Very good. Just one. So what would have been the condition? One is definitely unique. We want to return parts where it is not unique. Okay. Let's say case 3 would have been that Nagpur has more than one supplier. Then how many rows would have been returned by the inner query? Greater than one? Do you guys agree to this statement? Greater than one? Yes. So if there are more than one supplier IDs that I get, which means supplier IDs are not unique, there are more than one supplier IDs, and especially the items, right? So it will return for a warehouse at Nagpur. Only for this case, the result of where clause would be true because the supplier IDs or the item IDs are not unique, and so your option D would be the right answer. So my suggestion again is when they don't give you tables, actual instances of the relation, if they just give you a query, try to take the cases and solve it. That way you will be able to get the answer. Okay, let's go to the next one. It's a very good question. Please try to answer it. I will give you some time. Please try to answer it on your own. Very good, Jigya. If you answered it, very good. Answer is D. Very good if you could answer it. See, um, take some cases. Okay, let's say there is a case one where B dot price, the price of the book B, is the maximum price of any book. Understood, everyone? What I mean by it? The maximum price that is possible for any book, let's say B dot price is that price. What will be the count star value returned by the inner query in this case? Can anyone answer that? Which means how many books are there that have the price more than the maximum price of any book? How many rows will be there? Zero, right? There will be no row that has more than the price of the maximum price of a book. So the inner query returns 0. Is 0 less than 5? Obviously, yes. It will be taunting to say, ask you this question. So 0 is less than 5. The answer is true. So you will return the title of the most expensive book. Is it clear, everyone? First point. Everyone clear? Why you will get the title of the most expensive book? Because I just run through the query. Let's say there is another case too, where the price of B dot price, is not actually the maximum price of any book. It is second most expensive book price. Second most expensive book. Let's say the prices are unique. Every price of a book is unique. So given one price, there is no more than one tuple. Let's assume that. So can you tell me how many rows will be returned by the inner query? One, right? Because there will be only one book which has more than the price of the second most expensive book, which is the most expensive book. So is 1 less than 5? Obviously, yes. So this query returns the title of the second most expensive book. Then you look at case 3, where B dot price is the third most expensive book. Then you look at case 4, B dot price is the fourth most expensive book. B dot. Then you look at case 5, B dot price is the fifth most expensive book. And you will get the count star value as 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, which are less than 5, and you will get the title of the 5 most expensive books in this case. Is it clear, everyone? What this solution? Everyone understood what happened here? Yes. Okay. Others? Okay. Good. Very good for who could answer it on their own. Very good. Last question for today is this. Let's see. Okay, so the correct answer to this question is option C. Okay, C. Let's say there is a grades column. There's a student one. He has a grade of, let's say the course number is C1 and the grade is A. Okay. Let's say the course, the roll number is, um, sorry, uh, is one only. There's another course C2. The grade is B. Okay. This is the course. This is the grades table. Um, let's say these courses C1 and C2, both of them are taught by Korth. Okay. Mohammed, do you understand the situation? The situation is this is the grades table. Sorry, this should be the roll number, right? This is the roll number. There are two. There is someone with roll number 1. He has scored a grade A. He or she has scored a grade A in course C1 and a grade B in course C2. Okay, is the grades table clear? That's okay, right? Let's say these courses, both C1 and C2, are taught by Korth. Okay, they're both taught by Korth. Okay, so let's write the courses table also. So courses is the course number, the course name, and the instructor. So course number is C1, course number is C2. Let's say this is DSA, this is DBMS. Korth is a very big. Korth has a very good book on DBMS. If you guys didn't know that, so Korth and Korth. Okay, so you are selecting all those tuples in courses where the courses dot instructor is Korth. So you're selecting these two tuples. You're selecting the grades such that the grade is capital A. So you will not consider this row, right, Mohammed? Because the grade is B, the grade is not A. Right, Mohammed? Okay. So you will join this with the course number C1 with this course number C1. Okay. And you get the name of the person. Suppose that name of the person is someone. Okay, let's say Aditya, right? You get Aditya as your answer. But the person had gotten a B grade in the course taught by Korth, which is C2. Then if the answer came out as Aditya, which is the name of the student, let's say, because he scored a grade A in at least one course of Korth, then option A will say that he would have got A grade in all the courses taught by Korth. Is that the case in this case? No. Even though he scored a grade of B in course C2, still the name is returned because that person scored grade A in at least one of the courses taught by Korth. That's why option C will be the right answer. Okay. Others, everyone, is it clear what I explained? Okay, 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 fine. Any questions before I end the lecture? We will look at that next week. Vishnu, I have that in mind. I am giving you some more time to look into it. What my plan is, we look into it next week. Okay. Please try to answer it on your own as well. If you have answered it, I would highly encourage if you send me the solution. I can correct you then and there only on WhatsApp. Please try to send me the solution. In case you have not solved it, if you're waiting for my answer, wait for it till next week. Okay, so yeah, so in the next class, please be prepared with another very, very important topic on databases called transactions. Okay, transactions has typically concepts like ACID properties. There is something called view serializable, conflict serializable. So how to check for conflict serializability, how to check for view serializability, what is 2PL, right? All these things I will expect you to be prepared in the next class because it's hard to teach every single concept that is present here. I might not be able to cover all the questions of all the concepts in transactions in one class. In that case, we will look into uh, file indexes, which is B trees and B plus trees, in our last class that will be next week. So two classes only will be there. The reason is we had three classes this week because I am going out next week. From Friday, I'm out. So I will only be able to manage two classes. And then when I come back, it will be January. So only 1 month will be left for the exam. So what me and the team decided was uh, we'll have one class on transactions that might be leaked a bit from the filed indexes. And we'll have another class on file indexes, index searches and all that. Okay, that is the what happened. Okay, instead of sending the slides, I started a poll. Okay. Okay, so I think there is an early end to the class today. If you do not have any questions, my recommendation is please wait for some time, get the slides, and then you can leave the room. Otherwise, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. We'll be happy to take any. I have to